Capital News tonight. ACT Chairman Saif Sharif Hamad is sworn in as the first Vice President of Zanzibar. More than 710 tons of cashews failed to get a market in Tandahimba district in Mtwara region. And in sports, candidate of the Traditional Sports Association Chamijata Elections starts returning forms. Good evening, this is Capital News at 9:30. My name is Nasma Mwambe. Let's get started with the national news. The chairman of ACT Wazalendo, Saif Sharif Hamad, has been sworn in as the first Vice President of Zanzibar. Speaking at the occasion, President of Zanzibar and the chairman of the Revolutionary Council, Dr. Hussein Ali Mwinyi, assured that reconciliation was the only means of eliminating animosity and uniting the people of Zanzibar.
Sharif Hamad, naapa kwamba nitaitumikia vyema kwa moyo thabiti Serikali ya Mapinduzi ya Zanzibar katika kazi zangu za makamu wa kwanza wa rais wa Zanzibar, na kwamba wakati wote nitamshauri kwa hekima na uaminifu rais wa Zanzibar na mwenyekiti wa Baraza la Mapinduzi, na kwa vyovyote vile sitatoa siri za Serikali ya Mapinduzi ya Zanzibar, na kuomba Mwenyezi Mungu unisaidie.
Kizazi cha leo cha Wazanzibari ambao 93% wamezaliwa baada ya mapinduzi na muungano.
Today's Zanzibar generation, of which 93% were born after the revolution and union, have every intention of closing the chapter on conflict and hatred and open a new chapter of love and agreement. My hope, and that of many who wish to see Zanzibar doing well, is the removal of wounds of our Zanzibar's history, which has continued to be a trial, more so during the election.
Kuingia katika serikali, baraza la wakilishi,
getting in the government, Council of Representatives, and the House of Parliament of the United Republic of Tanzania was not an easy decision. We've had long discussions and had disagreements, but eventually we came to a decision. One of the reasons which has made us come to this decision is our faith in you, your words and actions, which have persuaded us to see your good intention and a good direction to change Zanzibar in all areas.
Wewe binafsi, maneno yako, vitendo na ishara zako.
President Dr. John Magufuli has led various national leaders, relatives and friends to pay last respect to the body of the Commissioner of the Public Leaders Ethics Secretariat, the late retired judge of the Court of Appeal, Harold Nsekela, who passed away on December 6 in Dodoma. Other leaders present at the occasion include Vice President Samia Suluhu Hassan, Prime Minister Kassim Majaliwa, Chief Justice Professor Ibrahim Hamisi Juma, Speaker of Parliament Job Ndugai, Deputy Speaker Dr. Tulia Ackson, and Chief Secretary Ambassador John Kijazi.
Maisha yaliyojawa na utukufu.
A life full of glory is one that he had lived. Secondly, it is a life of service. From May 2014, he was a member of Tanzania Institute of Arbitrators. In December 2016, he was appointed to be the Commissioner of Ethics, a position of which he served until his passing on 6th December at 8 a.m. I ask that we stay together just like you are with our Father. We all need your support. Be with us in prayer. Life must go on.
More than 710 tons of cashews at Tandahimba Newala Cooperative Union Limited warehouse in Tandahimba district in Mtwara region have failed to get a market after buyers say that the cashews have not dried properly due to the rains.
Sisi tutaomba watu wamoja korosho hapo hapo.
I'm not sure about the moisture issue they are talking about. I'm asking for experts to come and check if it is there for sure. The problem of high moisture content has been caused by farmers storing cashnuts in sacks and failing to air cashnuts. I'm asking TANECU if it is possible to sponsor small unions to enable them to buy the equipment and they will pay back in installments.
Speaker of the Parliament has sworn in 2 members of Parliament who were appointed recently by the President, Dr. John Magufuli, as members of the Parliament and as ministers in his new cabinet. The member of Parliament who were sworn in today at the Parliament grounds were Dr. Dorothy Gwajima, who has been appointed as Minister of Health, Community Development, Gender, the Elderly and Children, and Minister-elect of Works, Transport, Dr. Leonard Chamulio.
Na sote tunajua kabisa kwamba wana uzoefu mkubwa.
We all know that they are highly experienced and they will be a big help. We therefore promise to cooperate with you and make your job easier. One way is the Electoral Commission write to me and inform me that they deserve to be members of Parliament. Therefore, they take an oath, and this is the procedure, and they were sworn in. I commend Honorable President Dr. John Pombe Magufuli for having a lot of faith in me, believing that I have a contribution towards development.
The government of Tanzania and the Republic of Korea have signed a loan agreement of 684.6 billion shillings, which will be channeled to energy, water, infrastructure projects and budget support.
Improve sewage service in Dodoma, US $70 million, equivalent to 160 billion Tanzanian shillings. Another project is to land survey, US $165 million, equivalent to 148 billion Tanzanian shillings. And for the project to construct the new Surrender Bridge, US $132.6 million, equivalent to 74.5 billion Tanzanian shillings, which is an additional loan.
Your country too, so it will cooperate our bilateral relation. I think as you know, South Korea was a poor country in 1950s and 60s, and at the time we support the colonialism people that period.
President Dr. John Magufuli has inspected construction of state houses in Dodoma, house offices in Dodoma, where he expressed his satisfaction on the speed of construction being implemented by Tanzania People's Defense Forces. Construction of the offices started on 17th February this year and is expected to be completed within the next 3 months.
Once they finish constructing this building, don't take them anywhere else but to the army, all of them. So if they finish in 2 months' time, then you must begin to prepare them. I'm offering them direct employment because what they have done is great.
The U.S. government has said that in order to achieve the fight against gender-based violence, it is necessary for some laws to be amended as they have failed to address the problem. This was said in Dar es Salaam by the political officers from the U.S. Embassy, Dr. Willow Williamson, when speaking about measures being taken against gender violence.
To be amended is the 2008 anti-trafficking law, which right now it has fines in lieu of imprisonment, and so that amendment going through would be a big win for anti-trafficking in Tanzania. And as we know, trafficking in persons disproportionately does affect women and girls, and that women and girls who are trafficked are often also victims of gender-based violence.
Ni muhimu sana sasa zifanyiwe marekebisho.
It is important that they are reviewed so that we are able to see if laws have an impact.
Sisi kama wanamtandao wa kumaliza ushiriki wa wanaume Tanzania ndio tunaonyesha kwamba wanaume
men too are able to raise their voices regarding gender violence, and that they are provided with a platform from which they can report gender violence.
Ushiriki wa wanaume Tanzania kipindi cha siku 10 sasa mwanzo wa kijinsia tumeweka nguvu za pamoja kisha kwamba sauti za wanaume zinasikika, lakini pia wanaume pia wajengewe mazingira ambao wanaweza hao kama wanaume wakatoa taarifa.
Meanwhile, women and girls have been urged to fight for their rights by speaking out about incidents of gender violence in order to fight against the problem in the country. This was said in Dar es Salaam during the award for heroes fighting against gender violence.
Worldwide, 1 in 3 women experience physical or sexual violence in their lifetime. The U.S. government sees tackling violence against women as a human rights imperative. Violence threatens women's and girls' safety, and it sets barriers to their potential for prosperity and fulfilling leadership roles. So eliminating violence against women and girls requires all of us, men and women, governments, the private sector, civil society, and faith-based organizations to take action. We also recognize there's an interconnection between gender-based violence and trafficking in persons victims. 71% of human trafficking victims worldwide are women and girls, and 3 out of 4 of the women and girls are sexually exploited. We can all learn from each other as we work on this problem that affects not only the victims but also the communities that they're part of. And we know that together, Pamoja, we can all make sustainable changes to empower our communities and create a lasting change.
And that is the end of the national news. International news comes next after the break. And in international news, U.S. President-elect Joe Biden has chosen Lloyd Austin, who helped spearhead the U.S. invasion of Iraq in 2003 and rose to head the U.S. Central Command as the first black defense secretary. A veteran of conflicts in Iraq and Afghanistan, the retired 4-star Army general beat out the favorite for the job, Michelle Flournoy, amid pressure on Mr. Biden to nominate more minorities for the position in his cabinet. Health services in public hospitals in Kenya have been affected as the health workers' strikes enters its second day. Health workers are accusing the government of failing to provide them with preventative gears, health insurance and allowances when the country has been hit by the coronavirus pandemic.
Na vile tunasema hivi wakati huu,
BBI has been given a lot of attention than health workers. We don't understand if they are children of a lesser God.
Madaktari, wahudumu na matabibu,
Health workers are given every kind of equipment and that they are not denied benefits promised to them 3 years ago.
Ya muhimu kwa sasa ni kuhakikisha kwamba
What is important now is to make sure that we address issues raised by health workers.
daktari na nurses na clinical officers wanatuuliza.
The political crisis in the Democratic Republic of Congo has taken another turn after President Felix Tshisekedi announced that he was pulling out of the coalition with parties supporting former President Joseph Kabila. On Sunday, President Tshisekedi said he planned to form a new majority coalition and warned he might be forced to dissolve the parliament and hold a fresh election if he was not able to convince enough legislators to join.
Ni kweli kama sisi Wakongomani tumekusha kuogopa.
As Congolese men, we are worried. What we imagine could happen has now happened. Disagreement between President Tshisekedi and retired President Kabila has saddened the people of Congo.
Na ile coup d'etat constitutionnel ambayo tunaiogopa itatufikisha kwenye janga la vita katika Kongo.
And that is the end of international news. Business comes next after the break.
Watch Business Edition as we talk to business leaders and experts in sectors that are transforming Tanzania's economy.
We believe that the driver is the customer.
To change the mindset of traditional HR to the digitalization.
Make sure that everybody can get some access to financial services.
And once we understand the vision of our leaders, we then need to be behind them and help them in achieving that vision.
Business have involved mercantile operations, trade guilds, or shared agricultural production, infrastructure, construction, financial sectors, tourism, and mining. Business Edition on Friday at 8:15 p.m.
And in business news, rehabilitation of the port of Dar es Salaam has increased efficiency, with the number of days to offload containers decreasing from 10 to 5 days.
Takribani bethi zisizopungua 5 tumeshakabidhiwa, kwa maana bethi namba 0 ambayo ni kwa ajili ya magari, lakini bethi namba 1.
We've reached a good stage. We hope by March next year it will be complete.
Container. Ujenzi unaendelea katika bethi zilizobakia ambao ni bethi namba 5 mpaka 7, ndio huko kwenye hatua nzuri. Tunatarajia mpaka itapofikia mwezi Machi mwakani utakuwa umeshakamilika.
Some investors involved in manufacturing of plastic products in the country have said that despite measures taken by the government to restrict plastic imports and local industries to produce, prices of products have been operating on loss.
If the current situation persists, it means that we'll be working with very low prices, which gives us minimum or no profit. This will be an alternative and quick way to help us improve old infrastructure.
Ukilinganisha kama mnatumia materials zile zingine za zamani ambazo zinatumika kwa ajili ya shughuli mbalimbali za miundombinu yetu.
Mobile phone company Vodacom Tanzania has continued to improve its services by bringing closer products and services that addresses various customer needs by increasing the number of Voda shops.
Zaidi ya vyote nataka kusisitizia hizi huduma ambazo na maduka tunaofungua karibu na wananchi.
We urge those who have not updated their lines to come and do so biometrically, so we've opened shops closer to customers to make this easier.
Kwa hiyo haya maduka yako karibu kwa ajili ya kuwasaidia wananchi wetu.
Kusogeza huduma hapa itarahisisha sana kupunguza.
This will reduce the number of people working with cash.
Kwa mwanzo wanatembea na fedha cash nyingi, jambo ambalo ni riski kwa usalama wa fedha zao na wao wenyewe.
That is the end of business news. Sports comes next after the break.
Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment and going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's being dragged through to second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment and going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's being dragged through to second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. position. Joaquinho, he did lose to Lend.
And in sports, the Ubungo Football Association UFA has told clubs that will participate in the TFF League to submit their registration fees directly to the Sports Association Registrar.
As you can see, we just came from the Sports Association Registrar, and we were told that from now on and next year, every club that plays under the calendar of Ubungo district need to be registered, and they need to also pay their fees to the government through the sports registrar.
Candidates of the Traditional Sports Association Chamijata Elections have started returning forms with 5 days remaining until the deadline.
I would like to call on sports stakeholders who would like for sports to develop in the country, especially the traditional games, so we can preserve our traditional games and promote them out of the country. We have our own traditional games. They should come and take forms so they can contest for different positions.
Paul Pogba's agent Mino Raiola has claimed it will be best for the midfielder and Manchester United if the 27-year-old leaves in January, as he is unhappy and can no longer express himself at the club. Here's more.
Believed to be part of an interview Raiola has conducted with the Italian newspaper Tuttosport, and which will be published in full on Tuesday. They will not go down well at United, especially as the team's focus is meant to be on preparing for a crucial Champions League fixture with RB Leipzig tomorrow. Given Pogba's struggles at United since returning to the club for then wet record of £93.2 million fee in the summer of 2016, it will be of no surprise to see him depart Old Trafford. But the earliest that was expected to happen was in the summer. Raiola is instead calling for it to occur when the winter transfer window opens on 2nd of January.
Mario Balotelli has signed for the Italian second division side MONZA for the rest of the 2020-2021 season. Here are more details.
The former Manchester City and Italy striker has been a free agent since leaving his hometown club Brescia in June, and the 30-year-old will link up with another former Milan player, the midfielder Kevin Pre-Sporting. Balotelli's turbulent career has involved stints at some of Europe's biggest clubs, including Internazionale and Liverpool. He won 36 caps and scored 14 goals for Italy. MONZA, who earned promotion to Serie B last season, were bought by the former Milan owner Silvio Berlusconi in 2018, 3 years after they were relegated to the 4th tier because of bankruptcy.
Frank Lampard has said he is not under pressure from Chelsea's board to sell Kepa Arrizabalaga after dropping the £71.2 million goalkeeper. Here's the story.
Who will be handed a restart when Chelsea hosts Cashewnut in the Champions League tonight, has failed to justify his price tag since joining from Athletic Bilbao in 2018 and faces an uncertain future after losing his place to Edouard Mendy. Lampard lost faith with the Spaniard following a string of costly errors and has seen his side's defensive record improve since the arrival of Mendy, who has not taken long to establish himself following his £22 million move from Rennes. Yet, although Arrizabalaga has not played since struggling when Chelsea drew 3-3 with Southampton in October, Lampard does not feel that his bosses are worried about having such an expensive player on the bench.
And that sports item ends our news bulletin. Thank you for watching and good night.
are very many international organizations in the country.
Governments all around the world must collect taxes.
It could be any country in the world, and we only get to hear what they do in Tanzania.
Agriculture, in my view, is one of the main perspectives for
our embassies and high commission operate in Tanzania and how Tanzania can benefit from the presence of this organization, of these embassies in the country. And you can only catch it on the Monday Agenda, which is aired every Monday 8:45 to 9:30 here on Capital Television. Stay tuned.
Diamonds are forever. They won't leave in the night. I've no fear that they might.